we are going to look at recalling our 10 times table, and we've done a little bit of this for the 2 and 5 times table. So this input isn't going to be as long as we're just recapping the same sorts of things but with the 10 times table instead. So we have got a starter, and our first job is to count in tens from 40 all the way to 100. After 3, we're going to do that together. So we're starting from the number 40 and we're stopping on 100. You ready? 3, 2, 1. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Brilliant. Okay. Our next job is to count back in tens from 100 to 0. Now I know you're all brilliant at this. So after 3, we're going to count back in tens from 100 all the way to 0. 3, 2, 1. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 0. Fantastic. Okay, let's get going with the input today. So, we've got the 10 times table down the side. What do you notice about the answers? So, in the 2 times table, we notice that they all end in an even number, and they're counted up in 2s. In the 5 times table, we notice that the numbers always end in a 0 or they end in a 5. So what do we notice about the 10 times table? You can write your answer down, or you can tell your adult at home. And let's have a little look. So, the main thing that I notice about the 10 times table is that the answers, what do they always end in? That's right, they always end in a 0. Okay, now we're going to do this all together, so get your pieces of paper and pens at the ready. We're very used to doing this now because we did it all of last week. So we're going to write the calculation, we're going to write the sum for the picture here, the multiplication sum. Now, I've got a picture of some cupcakes, and I know I've got 2 groups of cupcakes. Now, how many have I got in each? Should we count them up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's 10 on each tray. And I know that I've got 2 trays. So how many groups of 10 have I got? I've got 2 groups. So we're going to write the number 2 down. 2 times what though? How many have I got on each tray? I know I've got 10 cupcakes, so our multiplication sum must be 10 times 2. Now, you can either draw your array to help you work this out, or you can use the picture. Now, we don't need to count them individually because we know there's 10 on each tray, so I'm going to put a little 10 at the top to remind me. And we're going to count up in tens to see what our answer is. You ready? 10, 20. So 2 times 10 is 20. Okay, now, moving on to the next slide. How many 10s are in 70? Well, we used our fingers, didn't we? Or we used money last week to help us find out how many 2s and how many 5s were in a number. We're going to do the same for 10. So how many 10s are in 70? I'm going to count up in tens on my hand until I get to 70 and see how many fingers I'm holding up. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, how many fingers am I holding up? Should we count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 tens in the number 70. Okay, now we're going to have a go at a word problem now, because we did this toward the end of last week with the 2 and the 5 times table. So there are 9 packets of books. Each packet has 10 in each. How many books are there all together? Now I'm going to change my colour. Now, for word problems, it's really important that we underline the key information so we know what we need to do, and especially the numbers, and it's going to tell us what we need to do with those numbers. So there are 9 packets of books. So I know there are 9 packets. There's 9 groups of something, and each packet has 10 in each. So there are 10 books in each packet. How many books all together? So we're going to find out how many books there are all together in the 9 packets. So what would my multiplication sum be? I wonder if you can write this down with me. Well, I know how many packets I've got, so that's my first number. That's how many groups I've got. So that's 9 packets of books. And I've got 10 in each. 9 times 10. Now, some of you might know the answer to this. We can either use our fingers or we can draw an array. Now I think I'm going to count up in tens until I'm holding up 9 fingers to work out the answer. And then if you want to, you can draw the array as well. You ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So here I've got 9 fingers, haven't I? So 9 times 10 is, so you do it, count it again, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 9 times 10 is 90. So there are 90 packets. 90. There's not 90 packets, is there? There's 9 packets of books. So we need to find out how many books there are. So there's not 90 packets. There's 90 books, isn't there? So even Miss Burke gets things a little bit wrong sometimes. 90 books. There we go. Now it is your turn to have a go now. How many balloons? We'll write the multiplication sum. You can pause it there to work out the answer, and I'm going to go through it now. So, how many balloons altogether first? Well, I need to see how many's in each group, don't I, as well, because that's my first question. How many balloons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 in each group. So I'm just going to write that at the top to help remind me. How many balloons altogether? So we count up in tens to find the answer. 10, 20, 30. There are 30 books. And the multiplication sum would be, we've got 3 groups of 10, haven't we? 3 groups of balloons, so 3 lots of 10. 3 times 10. And your answer, we already know the answer, because we've already worked out how many balloons there are to begin with. So that's 30. 3 times 10 is 30. Okay, next one. You've got a word problem here. Mr. Jackson has 10 boxes of glue sticks. There are 10 glues in each box. Calculate how many glues there are in total. So, Mr. Jackson has, there's my pen, has 10 boxes of glue sticks. And he has 10 glues in each one. We need to find out how many there are in total. Okay, so have a go at this one on your own. What are we timesing together? Pause it there, write your answer down, and we're going to go through it now together, okay? So, I know we've got 10 boxes, so I've got 10 groups of glue sticks, 10 boxes. So that's my first number. 10 times what? 10 times, well, how many glues have I got in each box? You're right, I've got 10, haven't I? So my multiplication sum would be 10 times 10. Now, what does that equal? I wonder if you can shout the answer out at home. 10 times 10 is 100. You're right, it's 100. Now, you could draw the array to help you work it out. I've kind of run out of space on my board, and doing 10 lots of 10 would take me quite a while. But with your 10 times table, you could do it on your hands. So I'll show you again. We can count up in tens until we're holding up 10 fingers. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's a lot of glue sticks, isn't it? Right then, I have a feeling that is it. Yes, it is. So go back onto the slide. There are some questions for you to have a go at. And we look forward to seeing your uploads on Seesaw. And see you later.